Mutual fund is now joining us. Harsha, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you approaching the market at these elevated levels? We have seen domestic institutional investors, book some profit at over the last 3 months, while FIs have been on a mad buying spree. But tell us, what's your overall view on the market now?
I think at these valuations, it makes sense to remain a little cautious. Most of the positives have been well discounted according to us. We are going to see a very strong earnings recovery. The liquidity is also strong. But if there is any negative that comes along, which is unknown at this point of time, then at these elevated valuations, you could see more volatility come again. So our suggestion would be to remain neutral in terms of allocation to equities and build a portfolio from 3 to 5 year perspective and not to chase momentum.
Okay. Harsha, we can't hear you. Are you muted?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. If you can just finish your statement, what were you saying?
Yeah, what I meant is at these elevated valuations, there is always risk of some volatility coming through. And we believe that it's not advisable to chase momentum at this point of time. And any investor who is looking to invest now should be looking at a slightly longer time period, let's say 3 years and beyond, for wealth to get created.
Therefore, shift to stocks like NBFCs, which have not run up. They're getting the rough end of the stick. Even some banking, other than say SBI, not everything has run up. So, is there still value in say PSU banks, mid-cap banks?
Lata, I would say that most of the sectors by rotation have moved up. Yes, there could be some pockets where the valuations may not have reached the earlier peak levels. But I don't think there is any sector or any pocket that is very attractive from a valuation perspective. So to that extent, it has to be more selective when you are building the portfolio. I don't think you can take a sector-wide calls at this point of time, given the valuations where they are.
Okay, can't take sector-wide calls. By the way, Mindtree is really spiking now, 5.5% higher. It's taken the entire mid-cap IT space with it. So look at Tata Elxsi. Of course, that one had very good numbers too. An additional 3.5% higher on Tata Elxsi. L&T Tech is up almost 3% odd. Something like a Sterlite Tech, all these digital plays are doing very well as we speak. So keep an eye out on them too. Harsha, I wanted your thoughts here because technology is one space that has just shown through this entire lockdown. But between large and mid-cap IT, where do your preferences lie? Does it still make sense to invest in IT, or do you think it's become crowded?
It is a bit more crowded as compared to where the ownership was, let's say 2 or 3 quarters earlier. And also, the expectations have been met. The momentum seems to be strong. There has been a margin expansion for most of the companies in the sector. And some of this margin expansion may not remain. The wage cost hikes are likely to happen. You are likely to see some travel costs coming through over the next 12, 18 months. So to an extent, I think they are at present having best of the times on the business momentum as well as on the cost efficiency side. Going forward, we may see a little bit of pressure on the margins. So to that extent, you may not really see earnings upgrades coming through going forward. Having said that, I think at these valuations, it makes sense to remain in some of the defensives, and IT sector is definitely one of those defensive pockets. So we would remain invested in the IT sector, but may not look at really increasing weight at this point of time.
Okay. Harsha, Tata Motors has had a big run. I know you won't talk individual stocks, but it's not alone, right? It's got Ashok Leyland, Maruti, some of the other stocks for company. How are you viewing the current rally in the auto pack?
We are reasonably well invested into automobile sector. Not now. I mean, at the start of the rally itself, we got into some of the subsegments there. For example, two-wheelers, tractors, and passenger cars. And we continue to have those positions in the fund. And we believe that the momentum that we have seen in terms of economic recovery and subsequent demand growth for some of these discretionary spends will continue, and hence we will continue to have those positions in the fund.
Okay, I'm just looking at the year-on-year performance of all the Nifty stocks, and underperformance still stands out for, say, an IndusInd Bank, an Axis Bank, even SBI Life actually. IndusInd Bank is 30% below year-ago levels. Axis Bank is about 10% below year-ago levels. So, I mean, to your point that, most financials also have caught up in terms of valuations. Maybe some have not. So, I mean, I'm just asking you, what would your sector preference be?
No, we do have overweight stance on private sector financials, especially the banks. But we are preferring some of the large private sector banks where we believe the provisioning levels have been quite adequate, and we may not see further slippages going forward. And they have handled the COVID issue quite reasonably well. And we believe that these are the names where capital has also been raised. So to an extent, they're ready for the next level of growth. And as we go forward, if the growth returns, you would see some of these names outperform.
Okay, another space that's actually coming back in a big way is media. I mean, look at Zee Entertainment. It's now up almost 3.5%. Sun TV is up almost about 3% and PVR as well. We've seen a big comeback over there. In fact, I mean, of course, anything and everything has rallied, but Sun TV has almost doubled now in the last 6 months. Harsha, any thoughts here? I mean, this is not a largely over-owned space, but now as things are coming back, people are, starting to get out, perhaps go to theatres, etc. Is it a space that you would explore at all?
Not at current valuation levels, but yes, I think some of the discretionary spend is going to come back. Some of the restrictions are going to ease. You may see FMCG companies starting to advertise more, promote more. So to an extent, yes, the business will improve from the current levels. But the point is how much of that is already discounted in the current prices. So at this point of time, we are not looking to really add into some of these segments.
What is the internal brains trust in Kotak Mutual Fund thinking about global movement? Are you all pretty bullish that there is a fiscal and monetary tailwind coming for global equities from US and other countries as well? Or is there a fear that inflation will rise faster than we think, and that there is a red flag in a few months or maybe later in 21?
See, inflation risk is definitely a red flag. I think we are seeing treasury yields moving up across the board. And if inflation hardens in this scenario, we would see some dip in equity valuations as well. It may not be a real risk at this point of time, but a few quarters down the line, if the trend continues to gain momentum in terms of inflation rising, then I think there is a risk. I won't see a big risk in terms of the fiscal policies of the governments, but it's more to do with the easy liquidity situation that we have seen in Delhi.
Okay, and in terms of, any other expectations that you would have from the budget this time around? Because there's a lot of talk about a COVID tax perhaps coming through to fund the devastation that was caused to the economy because of COVID. But if that comes through, is that something that the market is even expecting? Will that be a dampener, or do you think the budget will sort of be, will have no impact on the market eventually?
With fiscal deficit being where it is, I think there should be some expectation of increase in taxation revenues. And that is likely to come through increase in tax rates. But at this point of time, there is really no clarity in terms of which of the pockets will have higher taxation. And nobody likes higher taxation, right? So to that extent, if there is any increase in taxation for any segment of the market, I think that may not be taken.
Again, if I can put the question to the entire Kotak Brains Trust, what can we reasonably expect from the budget? Should we expect an infra thrust? Should we expect, again, restrained deficit as this government has shown a penchant for? What are the key things you are mentally prepared for?
I think clearly some of the policy initiatives that have been taken in the past, for example, supporting lower strata of the population with direct benefit transfer, the spend on infrastructure, including focusing on rural infrastructure. Some of these things will definitely continue. And we would also like to see some roadmap on the privatization. Yes, this year it could not be done because of the COVID issue. I think as we go forward, it is really important that not just tax revenues, but also non-tax revenues grow so that the growth impetus continues. So to that extent, I think the strategy on the privatization side will also be keenly watched upon.
Another space that, of course, I mean, we have spoken a lot about realty, about this whole home improvement theme, but these stocks continue to rise. I mean, I was just looking at something like a Kajaria Ceramics, a non-index name, a smaller name, but it has risen to new heights. Today, it's sitting at a fresh high. Any of these ancillary, spaces that you like, not just real estate, but some of the home improvement themes, the pipe makers, the ceramic makers, they feature on your list?
We continue to remain very positive on the home building and home improvement segment. Not just cement and real estate, but also the smaller segments where you would find pipes, tiles, paints, all of this coming in. We believe that the affordability index has improved for real estate purchase, and we have not seen really large amount of real estate purchases in the last 18 months. And at some point of time in future, you will definitely see higher momentum in real estate purchases. And along with that, we will also see discretionary spend going into rebuilding or renovating homes. So to that extent, I think this is a good theme that one should focus from a 3 to 5 year perspective.
All right, Harsha, we will leave it at that. Thank you very much indeed for joining us with your thoughts this morning. Okay, well, the markets actually are going from strength to strength, and the mid-cap in particular is regaining lost ground, now getting back to its all-time highs. It had crossed 21,850 with Elan, and now it's trying to scale back over there. At least for the morning, the early morning buys would still be in the money, right? Anuj, you would still think that we should strap ourselves for dips?
We could, because the only thing is the bank nifty is showing some sign of momentum once again, especially led by SBI, which corrected yesterday. I think a lot of strong stocks corrected yesterday. They are bouncing back. Like I said in the morning as well, I'll keep an eye on ICICI and Axis. As of now, ICICI has moved to high point of the day. If these stocks start to see more short covering, perhaps you see bigger move. And the key zone to watch would be the yesterday high, 14,459 thereabout, which is about 40 points from there. So let's see. But ingredients are in place for market to see some kind of short covering.
Okay, let's see the short covering plays out. But for now, the market is looking good. 14,400 is holding. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will talk about another good set of numbers. IRB Infrastructure is up 2.5% post earnings. Virendra Mhaiskar, the chairman and managing director of IRB Infra, will join in to talk about their Q3 performance.